Hey everybody, it's Boardman21, and today's build is going to be our last one on the Necromancer, as it is the #1 Necromancer on the ladder for the newly fixed arena, and it is quite similar to the previous one we did, but we changed up the skills and we're running Bone Curse, and the reason that this makes such a huge difference for the build is that it makes the Bone Prison, which will aggro the mobs and gives you basically 100% uptime to rebuild your army if need be at all times. And although this one is still going to be damage reflect, it's not that it's the only thing that's important. You will be able to have less of that, as having 60 or 70 poison rats can also kill out the map as well and take on those mobs. Now at wave 200 plus, it does get a bit hairy in the arena, as things will start dying, and even golems or abominations can die within just a matter of seconds. So the bone prison is what's going to keep you alive by summoning it, way out in front of you and allowing you to rebuild your army before going back into the fight. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the skills. For skills, we're running Summon Bone Golem, Assemble Abomination, Bone Curse, Rip Blood, and Summon Wraiths. For Summon Bone Golem, we have him to be a tank. We have 3 points in Amalgam of Mages, 5 points in Bone Growth, 2 points in Amalgam of Primalist, 1 point in Unnatural Speed, 5 points in Amalgam of Sentinels, and 4 points in Tower of Bones. For Assemble Abomination, we have it set up to 1, last as long as possible, 2, to be aggro, and 3, to consume as many minions as fast as possible to get him life, because a lot of times in the middle of battle you don't have more time than just a couple of seconds to channel. So we have 2 points in Hulking Mass to give him some more life, 4 points in Stitch Flesh to slow down that decay, and 1 point in Cadaverous Carapace for slowing down that health decay by another 50%. We have 5 points in Veracity and 1 point in Convecious Consumption to speed up that consumption of minions, and 2 points in Fractured End with 5 points in Repugnant Presence. They fixed the tooltip on this, so it now has 100% increased aggro, and 50% of all damage is reflected when you put 5 points in here. For Bone Curse, we have 2 points in Crippling Anguish, 5 points in Conflation, 1 point in Frailty, 1 point in Oppressive Gaze, and 4 points in Reaper's Mark. And then for the Bone Prison, you have 1 point in Bone Prison, 5 points in Ossify to give it a huge amount of health, and 1 point in Shattered Prison to reduce that cooldown to where you can now have it 100% uptime. For Rip Blood, we're still using this to gain ward, especially off of our minions, and to gain mana back. We have 4 points in Arcane Absorption, 1 point in Rip Spirit, 1 point in Arcane Fortress, 3 points in Hemomancer, 6 points in Quenching, 3 points in Mana Feast, 1 point in Marrow Drinker, and 1 point in Hematology. And then for the Wraiths, we just have it set up our normal way to summon as many as possible. We have 1 point in Locus of Resurrection, 2 points in Dark Scythe, 1 point in Echoes Inside, 5 points in Stygian River, 3 points in Army of Wraiths, 2 points in Haunting, 2 points in Grave Reality, and 4 points in Delay the End. For passives, we have 30 plus points in the passive base class, with 1 point in Blood Aura, 5 points in Blood Pact, 3 points in Stolen Vitality, 1 point in Crimson Gluttony, 5 points in Dark Rituals, 8 points in Forbidden Knowledge, 1 point in Putrid Demise, 1 point in Soul Aegis, 6 points in Dominion of Rot, 5 points in the Lich with all 5 points in Crippling Insight, and 79 points in the Mastered Necromancer with 8 points in Risen Army, 5 points in Reclamation of Souls, 8 points in Blood Armor, 8 points in Mortal Tether, 1 point in Unbound Necromancy, 3 points in Putrid Retribution, 5 points in Frantic Summons, 5 points in River of Bones, 3 points in Heresy, 10 points in Moonlight Prior, 10 points in Rite of Undeath, 1 point in Disciples of Necromancy, 4 points in Empty the Graves, 3 points in Cling to Life, 3 points in Tyrant, and 2 points in Tyrant's Legion. And then for items, we're running 2 types of idols. We have 2 idols that'll give us 100% chance total to summon a Putrid Wrath instead of a regular Wrath. The nice thing about having 70 poison wraiths is against the bigger enemies, their poison starts stacking and they'll kill enemies actually really quick. Especially wave 200 plus, that poison comes in really important. And then we also have minion cooldown recovery for our other two idols with some increased health. You can put anything you want in these 8 slots. Not super important. If you wanted, you could put defenses or more dodge. I mean, anything that you want that can fit there, you can go for. For the weapon, we have a scepter that has minion damage, minion physical damage, necrotic damage, and elemental. You can do anything that you want for the weapon. We've already proven you could run with the humming bee. You can do any weapon that you want. I like the scepter because it has a -3 mana cost on it, and that allows for Rip Blood to be free. So if we go negative mana while summoning things, we'll still be able to cast Rip Blood and be able to get our mana back. If you're not using a scepter and Rip Blood has a mana cost of 3, and you go negative mana, you won't be able to summon or use Rip Blood to get mana back until you're at 0 again. And if you have something on autocast, it'll automatically use it, which can be really annoying. So I like to just make it free so that we can do it at all times. And then for our weapon, we of course have minion health regen, intelligence, damage reflected from the minions, same for the helm. And then for our amulet, basically for every other piece we went with dodge and then either minion health regen, or we went for intelligence. And you'll see that's on just about every piece that we have, along with the other suffix being glancing blow. However, we did not reach 100% glancing blow on this build. It just wasn't needed for the amount of ward that we have. So you don't have to worry about getting 100% of that. Just go for minion stats and you'll get plenty of ward with it. In our character sheet, you can see we don't have very many defenses. We have 66% dodge. We only have 66% glancing blow. We have crap for damage. For minion stats, we're running our 1700% minion health regen with 600% minion health. And that is it. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some gameplay of the run.